Okay guys, so you should have in front of you your Exam Pro Algebra Non-Calculator. This is first or second part. No, I gave 2 lessons for it. There's not that many questions actually. Let's just take a quick look. Yeah, it stops at 7 questions, so it's not too bad, but I did give you 2 lessons for it. So there you go. So here's the question. This is my method. I mean, again, most of you got this all completely right. If any of you got any of it wrong, you should be taking notes. You should have this in front of you now as I speak, and you should be doing extra little additions to it. So here's my teaching on that. This is quite complicated for first question. There is a whole number on each of these cards somewhere behind. The number on A is 3 times the number on B. So this is the first thing I wrote, because I know I'm going to set up some equations. The number on C is twice as big as the number on A. So C equals 2 lots of A. And if A is worth 3 B's, then C must be worth 6 B's, because it's twice as much, you see. And I know that all 3 add up to 120. So I've now got 1, 2, 3, 4 little semi-equations. So this is what I did next. Okay, so A is worth 3 B's, isn't it? That's what it says. And B is just worth B. And C is worth 6 B's. So 10 B's are worth 120 altogether. So a single B, lesser number on the card, is 12, just by division. Now, once I know that B is 12, 3 B's, which is what A is 3 times 12, 36. And C is 6 B's, which is 6 times 12. And that comes to 72. Right? That's quite a tricky little question for a year 7 brain. Mind you, you nearly have a year 8 brain, to be fair, but there we go. Solve this. You take the minus over and plus it, get 25. Now, write an equation which has 8 as its solution. In other words, the final answer must be 8. It doesn't say there must be an 8 somewhere in the equation, but the final answer must be 8 for your unknown. So how about this? 2x equals 16, which means x must be 8. Because if you divide by 2, you've got 16 divided by 2, 8. I've solved it. The solution is 8. My unknown x is 8. Okay? This was generally well done. And there's billions of answers. There's an infinite number of answers. Now look, don't be confused by this x equals 5. That's supposed to help you, because 2 times x means 2 times 5. So I've got 10 plus something equals something. Well, put in whatever you like. 10 plus 1 makes 11. 10 plus 2 makes 12. An infinite number of answers. So there's 2 marks there. Anything goes. This was difficult for a lot of you. This was very difficult. Let me teach you a GCSE. Some of you tried it by trying out different numbers. The thing is, if the number is a very unkind, awkward decimal number, you won't be able to find it by trial and improvement. So let's do some mathematics. So here I go. That's 6 times the length of that. Stick 2 of these together. And this question is about perimeter. The perimeter, as you know, is the distance around the edge of the shape. This line here that I'm highlighting now before you is not part of the perimeter. It's part of this edge of the first rectangle. But if you're going to walk around the edge, like so, you'll not be walking down there, because it's not the edge. This is the new edge. And altogether, look, we've got 16 x's, haven't we? We have 6, 6, 1, 1, 1, 1. That's 16 edges, 16 x's in fact. And we're told that the new perimeter is 24 units, centimetres. So what's the width of one tile? In other words, just the x bit. Well, divide by 16, that comes to 1 8/16, because it's a remainder, which is 1/2. All right. Again, any point you stop me so we can talk. This was very well done. This is a bit of a gap, so avoid that, it's scary. But I can see it goes down by 8s. So 42 take away 8 will give you 34. In the same way, 74 take away 8 will give you 66. I think everyone got that right. This is a mistake in the question. What are the three missing numbers? I think there should be a number here at the end, because the answers at the end of this sheet has a very specific set of values here, which means they forgot to print off the number there, and you had to work out how many jumps it took to get down to this number, then find the numbers in between, which would have been possible. And so my instruction is here, it was just make up your own sequence. So some went down with 3s, went 5s, whatever, it's all completely correct, provided you made it obvious what your sequencing thought was. But really the original question must have had a number on the end there. If it was, say, I don't know, 18, then from 26 down to 18, 1, 2, 3, 4 jumps, the difference between 26 and 18 is 8, which means that each jump must be worth -2. So that might be maybe 24, this might be 22, this might be 20, and this one is your 18. Do you see what I mean? So I think there's a mistake in the question because there's nothing there to help you. So anything went. Okay, many of you got this right. Some of you got this. I'm a little bit suspicious by that, if you got that, because it's sort of high level sort of algebra. Now let me teach it. Many of you got the answer of half by trying something out. Let's read the English. We've not done number machines, doesn't matter. The output, what you get, is twice as big as the input, what you put in. So you put in something and you get out something twice as big. So if we don't know what the input value is, call it something. This is algebra, call it x. X times 6, there is 6x. Then it says take away 2. 6x take away 2. And this will spit out 2x. Right, there's a mark right there. You've set up an equation with unknowns on both sides. I then took over my 2x to the left and subtracted. That's the inverse operation of adding. I then took my -2 over to the right side and added, because that's the inverse operation of subtracting. I'm left with 4x equals 2. So x is going to be 2 divided by 4, otherwise known as a half. So that is the correct GCSE way to set it out. If you got it some other means, I didn't mind, because obviously you were thinking correctly if you got the right answer. So that's that one. Question 6. Somebody says to me, where do I go from here? I'm stuck. What's next? All will be revealed right now. It's an L shape, and the entire area comes to 12 centimetres squares. Work out the value of x. So I want to gradually scroll down. So the value of x, well, an area. I've got an area of 1 times x. True, there it is, that little bit there. And this is going to be 3 times whatever x plus 2 is. In other words, 3 bracket x plus 2 close bracket. Because I don't just have 3 2's here. I don't. I have 3 2's and I have 3 x's. Again, we've done brackets before that we multiply out. So now I've got my equation. Well, 1 times x is just x. 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times 2 is 6. And of course we're told the area of these two little bits, or the whole L shape, and what is it? It's just an L shape. Okay. It comes to 12 centimetres squares. Simplifying, 1 plus 3, 4x's. Got a simple two-step equation, which you've done before in class. Take over the 6, subtract. 4x equals 6, x equals 6 divided by 4, which is 1 2/4, 1 1/2. Okay, that's not too bad. But say that, so a particular girl said to me, I think it might be Margarita. So, well, what do I do now? What's next? Something like, okay, Margarita, here it is. It's all here, which you can copy onto your actual sheets yourself and make it perfect. I might have actually done it for you. I can't remember. This is another one of these really, really, really dodgy little things for which they give 4 marks. So the answer is 7, but why? Now, careful reading. So I don't want to go into this just yet. I know that there's a certain number of plums in bag A. Sounds delicious already. N plums. B has 3 times as many plums as A. If it's 3 times as many, it means 3 times n, not n plus 3. I'm not adding 3 more plums in there. I've got 3 times as many plums as I have in little bag A, even though the bags look the same size, I have to say. They should use different graphics, shouldn't they, to help us? All right, so here I go. I've got n plums in bag A. I've got 3 times n in bag B. And C has 14 more plums than A. So it's going to be n plus 14. Now, what else have we got that's important? Bag A and bag C have the same number of plums. And look, I've got an equation. 3n equals the same as n plus 14. Now I'm ready to leave my pictures alone and do the maths. And here it is. 3n is n plus 14. I bring my n over to the left and subtract, because that's the inverse of having a positive n on the right side. 3n take away a single n is 2 n's, and that still comes to 14. So n, the number of plums in the original bag, will be 14 divided by 2, which is 7. And that's what it's asking me to do. Work out the number, let me see, work out the number of plums in bag A. Well, I've got 7 in there. I can stop there. I've got all my 4 marks. I've got 21 in there. And I've got 7 plus 14, still 21. That makes good mathematical sense, because they told me B and C have the same number of plums. Okay, delicious. And that's it. And over here is all the answers and working, which I use to help me get it right, just in case I make a mistake. And which was that dodgy question that had no answers? Which one was it? Oh, here it is. Look at that. So they were thinking of having maybe 20 at the end. Can't remember. So yeah, they've actually obviously given us a number at the end, which we're supposed to have, but they didn't give us it. So the actual answer they wanted was 21, 16, 11. Trouble is, we didn't have enough information to do that. But whatever you got was right, and that's fair and just. All right, so I'm going to leave it on the plum question.